So there's a simple way to install a voltmeter, inexpensive. It'll help you kind of keep an eye on your battery and the charging system. So I hope it helps somebody out there. If you find my content useful, please consider like and subscribe.
Give it a couple of twists.
So I want to be able to monitor the health of the battery on the tractor. That was the problem I had. It wasn't charging the battery. Every time you go to use it, you have to jump it or put the battery on a charge for a little while. So we fixed it with the flywheel. We found the magnets that were all delaminated, glued it back together, reinstalled it on the tractor. It's working fine. However, I want to see if I have a problem in the future. Just, it just saves a headache. I want to install this little voltmeter on the dashboard. And it's just a little, you can buy these off of Amazon. They're inexpensive. They're under $20, maybe even quite a bit less than $20. But it's just a little digital voltmeter. It lights up there when, when you're measuring the battery voltage. I want to wire it in so that when the key is on, it'll display the voltage. So what I could do is just tie the, I'm just going to ground the black wire. The red wire, I'm going to identify a wire on the switch that goes hot when the key is on. So that way, if I'm just in the garage, I want to see if the battery's okay, I can just turn it on and you see the voltage of the battery. When it's running, and it's typically the battery is like 12.8, 13 maybe. Well, probably not that high, 12 something usually. When it's running and generating power from the magneto, not the magneto, but the stator windings in the engine, the Kohler engine, the voltage should be up. So when it's running, I should see like 14 volts, maybe even close to 15 volts on this. Then I know it's charging the battery up. I don't have to worry about it. Just a little health check, right? But the other thing that's kind of nice about it is, check this out. It's got 2 USB plugs in here that are 5 volt. It drops the voltage down inside here, drops it down to 5 volts for the USB plug. So, you can plug your iPhone into it or whatever. A lot of guys probably wouldn't use it, but it is kind of a nice feature. If you got your iPhone, you can make a little bracket or something to hold your phone, charge it while you're riding your tractor. You got it right there. Anyways, for the price of it, I thought it's a pretty good mod to do. So it takes a really big hole though. Look at the size of that thing. So if I measure that outside diameter, I get like 1.14 inches diameter. And the best thing to use would be one of these big unibits, step bit. So what I can do is I can come down here and I'll find that same diameter. Let's see, that's 112. That'd be tight, right? That'd be tight for it. So I have to go to the next one up, which would be this step right there. That step right there, which is 1 inch and 7/32, it says. So that's 121. So what I can do then is, just so I don't go past it, I'll just put a little tape around this edge so that when I'm drilling it, because it goes through the plastic really fast, so that when I'm drilling, I don't inadvertently go to the next couple steps and make a huge hole that, then I got a mess I got to try and fix. So I'm going to do that in the next segment. We'll drill a hole and we'll find a place to wire this in. Looking up under the cowl here, I'm just checking, and it looks like I got a lot of space. I can punch a hole in for that just about anywhere I want. Okay, so I've checked up underneath, underneath the cowl. This space here is all open. I got a switch here, so I'm going to put that gauge right there. I think that's a good spot for it. So I got my bit. I'm just going to eyeball the center of that space there. I think that's about where I want it. Actually, I'm going to move it down just a little bit. And I put tape on the bit. That was bad. I put tape on the bit so I don't go too deep. I'm going to slow the drill down. I don't want to go ripping through it. So I think that is the size I need. And it should be right up to the tape. I think that's it. And let's see if it fits in that hole. So I should have probably put a little spot there. Here I've blemished my beautiful tractor grill. I'll just feed the wires in there. And I'll put the nut on there. Looks like it can go either way. Pull the nut up underneath the backside. And it fits in there just nice. I'll tighten it up. Of course, that's got a gasket on. This is weatherproof. You can push down on this as I spin the nut up. It's really, you could put it in a 4-inch piece of steel, I think. It's got such a long thread on it. Let's snug that up. And there we go. I think that's a good setup. All right. The next thing we'll do is we'll wire it in. I wanted to determine where the best place to tie in that new voltmeter. I wanted just only to operate, obviously, when the key is on. So I was able to find the schematic online for this particular tractor, and I'm guessing most of the Husqvarnas are very similar. But so this here, this is the key switch, and of course this is the power coming to it. You can see it comes back to the battery. Ammeter we don't have on our model, but anyhow, it comes through. And I was looking at the different outputs, and of course some of them tie into a number of different things. To obviously the engine, but you've got the seat switch and the PTO and things like that. But looking down here, I've got the hour meter. So the hour meter is only on, obviously, when the key is on. So that's a perfect place to tap into that. So that's pin A1, and it's actually a blue, I'm sorry about that. It's a blue wire. So that's going to be easy to find. So we'll find that blue wire, we'll tie our voltmeter into that, and then ground the other side of the voltmeter, and we should be in good shape. So now I'm ready to connect the wires from my voltmeter. This actually has a little fuse in there. I'm going to leave that in there just in case the voltmeter gets wet, shorts out or something like that, although it is weather tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie them into, following the schematic, I've got these blue and black wires that go up to the hour meter, which is obviously only on here there, only on when the key is on. So I'll do the black one first, and I verified that although there's two blue wires here and there's two black wires on the terminal that goes to the voltmeter, they're both connected together, so I can pick any one of those. So for the black, I'll take this guy here. I want to take that wire. I want to make sure I leave lots of slack in it, but I'm going to snip it off about there. Then I'm going to use my taps, voltage taps, And where's the dead end one? Slide that into the dead end. All right. And now I want to clip it over the black wire. Clip it over, there it is, it clips in. And so now I want to make sure I get that wire. It's all the way in the bottom there, and I get my pliers on there and just squeeze. Give that a good squeeze. Makes that connection. Then you just pull this over, and that protects it from getting shortened out to anything. So for the red one, I'm going to connect it again to the blue wire here. Make sure I leave some tail. I'll take the next tap, and the dead ended side is here. And I'm going to tap this onto the blue wire. One of the two blue wires, doesn't matter which one. That's on there. I got it held in there good. Give it a good squeeze. Snap that over. So now I'll just take the wires here, put them up neatly like that, and I can put a couple of little zip ties on there just to keep it neat. Just to keep it neat and orderly. Like that. Snip it off of there. Okay, and that, I think that's a fine installation. We'll go check it and make sure that it works. Okay, so now we'll turn the key on. Turn the key on here and see if this lights up. Yeah, look at that. 12.7 volts. Turn the key off. Perfect. We're going to call this a good installation. So that's going to wrap up the video for today. Quick installation, you know, that little voltmeter I think was a really good improvement for my tractor. So, you know, I can see if it stops charging again. I won't have to wait until I, you know, start having problems having to get the jumper cables out and all that kind of stuff. So that little voltmeter that we used, I got it off Amazon. I went back and looked this morning. It's like $14, I think is what I paid for it. So, you know, it's a pretty inexpensive. You can do it yourself in, you know, just a few minutes. In reality, it probably took me 15 minutes to do that job. So, including looking up the wiring. So, now the taps that I used, you know, most guys have probably seen these, but if you haven't, you know, these little wire taps that I use, made by, I think 3M made them originally, but there's a lot of knockoffs now. But you can get them at just about any parts store has these. You get a little package of them for, I mean, I got bags of the thing, you know, I use a lot of them. I got a huge bag of the things. But as far as the voltmeter, I'll put a link in the description down below in case you wanted to get one and put one in yourself. You know, the Husqvarna tractor, this, you know, I'm a hot rod guy, but this is one of those things I thought, you know, there's going to be guys out there, because I've seen it twice now. This is the second tractor like that I've had this problem with. I had another one that I bought, and anyway, so that's why I found it quickly. The problem with the flywheel. If you hadn't seen the rest of the series, parts 1, 2, and 3, that's where we went through that whole experience. But I thought I'd share it with you guys, you know, because you know it might help somebody out there. Anyhow, if I did help you, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. If you just want to buy me a cold beer, there's a link down below for that as well. Anyhow, I think that's all I've got for this time. You know, I'm going to continue videoing problems that I have, because, you know, I've gotten some really good comments from a lot of folks that were appreciative, you know, just things that, you know, I get into stuff all the time that, you know, a lot of guys don't really mess with, and then they have a problem. It's like, yeah, they don't know where to turn. And I'm guilty of it too. I go to YouTube a lot, and I've got a lot of help from folks off of YouTube videos as well. There's a lot of lame stuff out there. Hopefully you don't think this stuff is lame. But anyways, thanks for watching. Consider liking and subscribing, and we'll catch you next time.